where gun culture meets the gospel. This is Armed Lutheran Radio.
Hey folks, welcome to Armed Lutheran Radio. It is our Reformation Gun Club online hangout. We are live for February 2020. We missed our January hangout thanks to an illness, and we should be back on track now. Little stuffiness. Had to start just a moment late because I had the instant urge to sneeze just as I was getting ready to push the go live button. We're going live tonight on both our Facebook group, Reformation Gun Club members group, and in a private video on the Armed Lutheran YouTube channel. I'm not sure how that's working out. I would go over there and check, but I'm afraid I would rip a hole in the space-time continuum and something would go wrong. So if anybody is watching on YouTube, let me know. That would be cool. I'm waiting for a few of the members to show up. Little bit of housekeeping first before we get started. Coming up tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. This will be what is today? The 22nd? 23rd. At 6 p.m. Central will be the release of episode number 208 of Armed Lutheran Radio. That will be fun. We're kind of getting back to our old ways, our old roots, as Pastor Bennett and I dissect an article from Patheos.com. Not a whole lot of theology to talk about, but it was a fun discussion nonetheless. Oh, you know what? I've got to invite our guests and our cast. So hang on a second. Let me do that. That would be helpful. Hang on just a moment. While I'm doing that, let's see. Find our cast here. And that would be Pastor John Bennett, Bill Sylvia, and the lovely and gracious Mia Anstein. And I will send that out here. Let me know again if you are seeing this on YouTube. Send me a message. Let me know if that's actually happening. I don't know. It's our first time trying it on multiple platforms. All right, we got some. There's a lot that's happened since our last get together. First off, check out the swag. Let me get the banner and my microphone out of the way. Drink coffee, shoot guns. Repping a little swag tonight. If you would like to get your hands on some of our cool T-shirts, you can find those at the Armed Lutheran shop, the T-shirt shop at armedlutheran.us/T-shirts. Pardon me. Got all kinds of cool designs there, and probably something that you would like. So go check it out. And there's always some, every now and then, Threadless has some specials where you can get free shipping and that sort of thing. I don't know whether they have one going on currently, but we'll see. I got a thumbs up. I like that. I'm not sure who from. Jeremy Saylor. Hey, Jeremy, how are you? Let me send Jeremy an invite here. New message to our good friend Jeremy, member of the Reformation Gun Club. And all right, so if you would like to join, you're more than welcome. Allergies. Hasn't it just been driving me crazy this year? Texas is horrible for allergies, I'm told. Pick the wrong place in the country to move if you've got allergies. Don't come to Texas. All right, so we've got a lot to talk about tonight. We've got what all has happened since we were last together? The Virginia Second Amendment rally in Richmond. A little bit of discussion of some of the things that went on there, the aftermath of that. Of course, Michael Bloomberg is buying his way into the Democrat debates and has pledged, I think, $8 million to support anti-gun Democrat candidates in Texas. And then some other things here. Let's see what all's going on in the comments. No comments yet, but I got another viewer. Who else is with us? Some couple of Reformation Gun Club members watching with us. Jeremy Saylor, our good friend for the Reformation Gun Club. How are you, sir?
I guess I'm all right. Motor in my truck blew up yesterday.
Oh no!
And yeah, so now I'm contemplating what to do with that. Got into a huge fight with my wife this morning, but other than that, I'm all good.
About the motor?
Maybe.
We won't get into that.
No.
So I'm just waiting for Pastor Bennett and Mia and Sergeant Bill, although I'm not sure. I think Pastor Bennett might not be able to make it, or might be running a bit late. And of course, he's got more important things to do first thing in the morning, so
he probably ain't running anywhere anyway.
What's that? Oh gosh, that's right. What's the weather like?
Well, today was nice. It was. I don't know. I was in the basement working all day, so
you are out of the bad weather. I saw his post. Was it last week that it was so bad that you canceled services again? So not something that we have to deal with here in Texas very often. I mean, they freak out when we get the warning of a snowflake.
Well, that's not always bad either. Canceling church. It's at 8:00 in the morning.
Okay. Wow, you guys start early.
Yeah, well, farmers it's out in the country, so we got farmers.
Right.
So like during harvest and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Still got snow on the ground, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yep. That won't go away. Probably till March.
All right. Okay. Bill was thinking it starts at 9, so I had to remind him we moved it up to 8 since it's I thought it would be better. 8:00 would be easier for Pastor Bennett because he's got to be up early tomorrow. So I scheduled it a little earlier than we usually do. Let's see. So what is shooting like this time of year in Minnesota? I mean, your part of the world is buried under feet of snow. Is it you just kind of put off shooting season until things thaw, or?
I didn't know there was an off season.
Good. Okay.
You can shoot indoors, but I mean, Minnesota.
Drive there.
If you're born and raised here, snow don't bother you. So
yeah,
I'll shoot outside in the winter.
Very cool.
Or out, you just go down the road and shoot out the car window. Don't you do that in Texas?
That's a myth. Well, no, I don't know about that. There's some places that may be doing that. Oh my goodness, Sergeant Bill is in the house.
I'm a train.
There he is.
Sorry. I thought we were starting at 9 and I'm on a handheld. Okay. So in my defense, and y'all will get this, I spent so much time in the garage.
With
reloading stuff that, look what I put in today.
Oh.
So, yeah. You sent me that message, and I was like, I'm trying to get my thing started up, and, oh, wait, now? So I'm here.
So what all are you going to be doing on that's not just TV while you're cranking away the handle of the blue demon. Oh, got the Roku going on. Very good.
Yeah, Roku TV. I got this on Amazon for $150. Man, I'm so excited. Oh. And then in my defense also, so when I come home from work, because my wife's been working day shift lately, my wife and kids are all asleep. I get home, it's like midnight. I want to wind down. I want to watch TV. I want to do something. I can't because those knuckleheads all sleep with their doors open. Anyways, and so I can't watch TV in the living room. I can go in the spare room, but we got a crappy little TV in there, and I'd rather be out here doing some work and maybe winding down watching some TV. So
there you go.
Now I can roll.
Kill multiple birds with one stone.
Yep. So excited. It's updating software. Oh, this will take forever.
That might take a while. Well, while that's going on, what's been going on with you shooting wise? Obviously, we were just talking with Jeremy, and Jeremy's because he's in Minnesota, and used to it. There's no downtime. There's no off season for shooting in Minnesota if you're used to it. What's your shooting season been like thus far?
Okay, then I'm the wuss in the group because I don't like cold weather, and if it's below 50, it's cold, and I don't really go out and shoot if it's below 50.
Jeremy makes us look bad.
Yeah, pretty much. I shot a little bit, but not much. I know 50 is not cold, I know, but it is to me. Break a few bones, dislocate some knees. You'll, it starts.
50-degree weather in the winter, I wear shorts. No, but I don't own a coat. I don't ever wear a coat. Even 40 below, I don't wear a coat.
I have
just a vest.
like that. That blows me away. But I'm the opposite. You put me in 100-degree with 80% humidity, and I'm like, yeah, I like this.
No. I'll die.
Right, exactly. I used to ask that question on. Yeah, I used to ask that question on the other podcast on Unload and Show Clear. What do you prefer? And I just figured out after a few, asking a few people, depending on where you live, the answer's pretty obvious. If you're from the South, they don't like the cold weather. They hate the cold. They'd rather shoot in 100 degrees. And if you're up north, they hate the hot weather and would rather shoot when it's 30. So I don't ask that question anymore. The answer is too obvious.
But the funny part is, if you look at like IDPA or USPSA match schedules for the year, they even up north they have matches during the summer.
Yeah,
because the weather's better, but it still gets hot. I've been to Minnesota.
Right.
It was like 30-something years ago, but it was summertime. I spent a month there in Minneapolis, and it was pretty hot.
Yeah.
It's pretty humid.
There's there was a couple of guys that I had on the other podcast who talked about going up for the Wisconsin match, thinking, oh, it's going to be great. And it was like 90 degrees, and they didn't dress for it at all. And then they came to Texas thinking it's going to be hot, and it was raining and like 50 degrees down here, and they were freezing to death.
Yeah, that's the Jackie and Joey effect, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Pastor Bennett's not going to make it. And I was afraid that might be the case because, he's prepping for tomorrow and moving it back a day and putting it right up against the middle of his preparation schedule. So we'll have to catch up with him next time. Oh, that's a good shot.
Isn't it? I'm moving bullets. Yeah, they're heavy. I was moving my gravity bullet feeder.
Oh.
I had to step on the bench to get up to the TV.
Wait a minute, that's a dog feeder.
Yeah, no.
Cat feeder?
That's a gravity bullet feed device.
Sure it is.
It works great.
Let's get a look at that.
Here, which one you want to see?
Oh, you got.
Flip.
You've been spinning the camera so much already. There we go.
So there's the 9mm one.
Oh,
Oh, then I've got my little phone charger sitting on top of it, so I kind of rigged it up with the coffee can so that I can put my phone on that. But the 45 one's right here. It works great. So I think I can get 1,000 and it fills the 45 230 grains up. The 9mm one, I can get 1,500 bullets in here and it's almost to the top.
nice. How many you crank out in a session after work one night?
I mean, it depends on what I'm doing the next day. I mean, I usually don't reload unless I'm doing 300 to 500 rounds. And I mean, it doesn't take very long to do that.
Cool.
It takes longer to case gauge them all and do all that kind of stuff to them. So,
yes, that's for sure. All right. I got a handful of things that I wanted to talk about tonight. We haven't, since we didn't get together in January, and a bunch of stuff has happened since we were together in December. Who all watched or followed the Virginia Second Amendment rally? And there have been a couple of state rallies since then. I think Kentucky and Arizona most recently. Thoughts on the turnout and how that has affected the politics of gun control in Virginia and maybe around the country? Either one. Jump in. Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, I didn't follow it. I didn't follow it as much as I probably should have. You know, I don't watch a lot of that stuff on TV. And as far as like internet service, I don't listen to a lot of the stuff on like Facebook and that, because it's always a bunch of crap.
That's true. Your life's probably a lot better for it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's scary, I guess, that there can be that many people against us, you know. Mm-hmm. We got a couple groups here in Minnesota that all they do is go. They post stuff like that on their Facebook, and then they ask you to donate money. So that kind of bugs me a lot. So I kind of stay out of that realm, you know, unless it. Yep. You know, Minnesota now, we got I think 4 counties that are sanctuary counties for Second Amendment. But so I probably didn't watch it as much as I should.
And we are joined by our good friend, the Pistolpacking Padre, with the beard intact. And how are you, sir?
I know, I almost didn't recognize you.
I'm using a new wax, and it works great for the mustache. So you've got me for 5 minutes while I'm waiting for Ben to get ready for bed. Ben, come here and say hello. Come here and say hello. I'm on video chat. Come here and say hello. There's 8 people watching. Here's my son, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
No, I'm sure there's more than 8 people watching us.
How are you, bud?
See, that's Lloyd. And you know who that is, right? That's Jeremy. And that down there, that's a police officer. So you better behave yourself.
Nah. And I'm a police officer drinking a Coke.
Is it Coke or Coke?
What is Loco Cola?
It's a beersy. It's a sleeve that covers your beer and makes it look like other stuff.
Oh, there we go. I like it.
All right. Folks, I'm just here for a minute. I got to get this guy to bed, so we're about to have prayers and get him down for the night. So. But I wanted to pop on and say hello there, you all.
Glad you did. Have a great night. Good to see you, Ben. Have a great Sunday.
All right. Thank you. You guys have a blessed weekend.
Night. Sweet dreams.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. All right. So, Bill, your reaction to the rally? I was amazed at the turnout. I mean,
I was hoping for that kind of turnout, but I was really pleasantly surprised at how big it was. I was also really surprised that they got enough people, I think, because of that rally to kind of change some Congress people's in Virginia's ideas, and they crossed the fence and crossed over, and and I saw a couple of them on interviews, and they basically said that it just didn't make sense, the things that they were proposing, and I was like, yes, thank you, because that's really what it boils down to. Is just, to me, is common sense, which is not really common, but it was nice to see, and it was even nicer to see that big a turnout. And the two things that happened, nothing happened, and it wasn't a huge mess. They actually cleaned up the stuff that they had, and it wasn't some stupid rally. We've had them in Dallas. Oh, my God. And they trashed the city. They don't care.
No, I know. And they left the streets cleaner than the lefties do on Earth Day.
Yep.
Yeah. They kind of set everything up to make a problem. I mean, they had basically warned everybody there was going to be violence, and they created the state of emergency and everything, and put fences up everywhere. Funny, the irony that the Democrats oppose a fence on the border, but they were all for putting a fence up to protect themselves from law-abiding citizens.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, the worst thing about liberal politics mindset is the laws apply to them, they apply to everyone else, but not them, not the lawmakers. They don't, they're accepted from everything, which is wrong. Yeah. You're supposed to be a lawmaker because you want to make things right for everybody, not just, screw some people and help yourself. That's it's ridiculous.
And there was one thing about the rally that, well, sticking with the positive. The nice thing was, because it was so big and because it was peaceful, which the media and all the politicians in Virginia were predicting it wasn't going to be. Like you said, some of the Democrats in Virginia, when it came time to vote on these gun control measures, decided, there's an awful lot of people out there who are opposed to this, and a lot of them they all have guns. Maybe I won't vote for this.
I think they see the tidal wave coming again this year. Yeah, in the elections, they know there's a lot of conservative delegates that are, jumping up and saying, "Hey, we're going to take everybody's spots," and partially probably was trying to take care of their own political needs, and hopefully they could, then when they go to, campaign for their next deal, they can say, "Hey, look, I'm a moderate Democrat, right, blah blah blah," and they'll get a lot of swing voters. Right. Like I said, I'm hoping that they saw that a lot of the stuff that they were saying. I mean, how in the world can you make a law that turns tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in your state into felons instantly? That's ridiculous. And even worse, you go from my side of the boat, from law enforcement. Most people don't know this, but Governor Northam he has a bill in right now that he's trying to make it to where any law enforcement officer who publicly states anytime that they will not enforce laws based upon their Two Amendment views or any of that kind of stuff, that they will be subject to firing from their job and losing their pension.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I saw that.
Crazy.
That is absolutely nuts.
I mean, it's terrible that, I've been in law enforcement, 2 more months will be 19 years, and I don't have First Amendment rights like everybody else. I can't go on Facebook right now and say that the chief that I work for, hypothetically, is out of her mind. If they find that, oh my God, are you kidding? I'm getting days off. I'm getting transferred. But that's not right.
No,
I can't do the things that most people can do, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying most of the time it's a ridiculous double standard, and for them to try and pass a law to say that I'm not going to enforce a law that I think is illegal and is against the Constitution. What? Mm-hmm. It should be illegal for you to try and put in a law that's violates the Constitution, plain and simple.
Yep. Well, and they were even going so far as to suggest that if you owned a private shooting range that wasn't on public property, they were going to close you down.
Yeah. Nuts. Just
absolutely
nuts.
Crazy. Now, the negative side, I think, of the
There we go. Trying to find somewhere I can stand my phone, right? You're not like everybody getting motion sickness.
We thought you were on a boat for a moment there.
I'm on a boat. Oh,
don't stop. I'll break that out again. Oh, gee whiz. Okay, so I did want to get you guys your thoughts on a couple of things. And there was an article that came out prior to the rally in Richmond suggesting, hey, go to the rally, but don't dress in full kit.
I don't get that. I technically, I guess, have full kit, and I don't understand why people want to wear that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see if I can find an example. That right there. Now, I know you can do it.
But why?
But why would you want to? And what is the message that sends to everyone?
Yeah, I've gone to some Second Amendment rallies, and I've seen the idiots dressed around like that. And them are exactly the guys that are making it hard for us to keep our stuff, to keep our rights, because them are the people that the liberal or the snowflakes are afraid of, They think that that's what we do. We walk around dressed like that, looking for action,
Exactly.
I mean, it's silly. They're just looking for attention. That's all it is. I mean,
and
look at me in my
negative.
What? I mean,
sends a negative message, I think, for what we're actually trying to accomplish. I mean, I would rather not have somebody know that I got a gun. I mean, I'm not gonna wear my Taurus Judge in Walmart, or walk around with my 12 gauge.
Right.
I'd rather have it concealed so people can leave me alone.
And we talked about this on the show a couple of weeks ago about, the guys who think that the way we advance the cause is by throwing an AR-15 across our shoulders and walking into Starbucks, or, posing for pictures, outside of Chipotle or someplace like this.
Chipotle sucks.
Well, yeah. Why would you? But still.
If you throw your opinions in someone's face, they're going to be against it just because you're throwing it in their face. Now, if you're throwing your opinion in somebody's face because of your actions, it's the same thing. They're going to instantly say, well, that looks dangerous. Is that dangerous? That can't be right.
Well, and it reinforces the stereotype that we're all just, a bunch of crazy militia people who want to overthrow the government. We're looking for the boogaloo.
Yeah.
And it just, when people see those pictures, and naturally, if you saw any of the coverage of the rally, especially after, who are the people that they talk to most often? Those guys. And it just confirms to everybody who worries about gun rights people that person with the AR-15 and the full kit is what we are, and we're not.
Yep. I agree. It's great.
And where are you supposed to put your AR when you go to Chipotle? Like, do you set it on the table next to you? Do you prop it up against your table? I mean, what if I spill sour cream on it?
I actually have an answer for that.
Huh?
I actually have a real world answer for that. You have a sling on your rifle. Your sling is your rifle's holster. You sling it to your body tight, and you're good to go.
Yeah, well, my AR is heavy. I don't want to walk around with it.
Oh, I guarantee you mine's probably as heavy or heavier. My work rifle, which I don't carry anymore, is the heaviest AR rifle that I have, and I have several, but I have a big, giant, surefire handle flashlight on it. It's got a heavy profile barrel, and it's nuts. And believe me, I know I've carried that for hours and hours on end, but once you sling it to you and pull it tight, like, whether it's in front of you or behind you on your back, and you pull that sling tight, cinch it down, it's actually, you still feel the weight, but it's not swinging around and uncomfortable. It's actually not bad at all.
Sure.
Here's another one I wanted to get your thoughts on.
Sorry, I'm cooking dinner.
Thoughts on this lady, and I'm sorry about the audio there. Kent State gun girl confronted by protesters. This is Katelyn Bennett, who walked across what Kent State originally back in 2018 with her AR-15, as you can see here, trying to make a statement about campus carry. What does this do for the movement? What does this do for us?
I have a personal answer, but it's not appropriate. Like, she is good looking.
It doesn't help us. It really doesn't help.
No, probably not. I mean, does it get people talking? Yes. Does it get people talking in a positive manner? No, not really.
Exactly, because when we talk about campus carry, this isn't what we're talking about. We're not. It's just like the carrying in Starbucks. We're not talking about carrying an AR-15. We're talking about being able to carry a self-defense, a tool for self-defense, on our person, not a big, gigantic black rifle like this, and sticking it in everybody's face. I don't know that this actually moves the ball forward for us. I think in a lot of ways, because this is just too easy for people to poke fun at. This doesn't help us at all.
But Lloyd, I agree, and I also disagree. And I mean, I think you're right partly, but partly I disagree because I think Americans as a whole are overly sensitive about things like firearms. I mean, you go to other countries where firearms are, whether they're legal or whether they're completely controlled or not. I mean, you go to Israel, for example, and you see people everywhere walking around with rifles. You go to some of the like Scandinavian countries, Norway and Denmark and stuff, where they have compulsory military, and everyone has a rifle. They take their stuff home. And I'm not talking AR-15s. I'm talking full auto G36 or whatever it is they're carrying. And they walk around with that stuff, and people they've gotten used to it. It's normal. But when one person does it and people aren't used to it, yeah, it becomes a little bit more shocking. And that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to get the shock value of it. And I wish it was a lot more normal. I mean, you think about it, if you go back in history and time in this country, and you go back to when this country was founded for however many years after that, it was normal to see people walking around with guns. It's only been in the last 100 years or so that it was like people started really concealing their guns and concealing their defensive mechanism and tools and things they were using to hunt and survive and live. And now, because we don't need to hunt to survive, most people don't. It's, in the military, we don't have military walking around in our streets armed. Hell, when I was in the military, they didn't even let us have our guns half the time. When they did, there was no ammo anywhere to be seen. But you know what I'm saying? It's become normal that people don't see those guns. And I mean, it's okay. I had people come up to me and they're like, I'm scared of you because you're carrying a gun. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm a police officer in uniform. I go, if I was standing here not in uniform, would you be scared of me? Well, no. And I go, well, I carry a gun all the time. So just because you can see it doesn't change the fact that it's there.
Yep.
I think as a country, we have gotten too many people that are too affected by other things, and they're scared of so much stuff. And part of that is the media. And I'll be the first one to say, I don't watch the news all the time, because when I do, when stuff happens and I start watching the news and I start listening to talk radio, I start getting like that paranoia that just, like I almost started getting depressed because it's like everything's so horrible. The news reports so much bad stuff that it just becomes negative. And it's hard to just live life and be happy and be grateful for the things that you have because of the news coverage, the 24-hour negative this and people hurting them and this and that. It's crazy. And I literally have to stop myself from watching news channels or listening to talk radio, which I actually really enjoy.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point that the quality of your life is affected by just trying to keep up with the news, because the news, if it bleeds, it leads, and it's only the bad news that you're going to hear about, and it's typically slanted in one direction. I don't want to sit and listen to it if it's just going to make me mad, or if it's going to depress me, or if it's going to make me want to like throw something into the TV screen.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll just go do something else. And I think that's I think a lot of people, part of the reason people are so divided in this country now, especially, is because there was a time not too long ago when you could actually get away from the news and you could say, all right, I'm just going to watch sports. I'm just going to watch sitcoms. I'm just going to watch movies. And they're still pushing it in your face, all the political stuff. And you can't watch a game show. You can't watch an award show. You can't watch sports without somebody kneeling or making some sort of a protest statement. And it's gotten to the point you can't get away from the political anymore.
Yep. I mean, let's be honest. We're near the same age, pretty dang close. When you were growing up, I would get up in the morning. You probably did the same as me. I'd get up in the morning. My folks might have the TV on just to see the news or the weather. And then it was off to school. And then it was come home. They didn't see any news. We didn't see anything. Didn't matter what happened unless it was just earth shattering, space shuttle exploding or something. You'd come home, and by the time you sat down to have dinner with your family, that's when you would watch the news, or before or after, and then that was it. Now it's nonstop. I mean, my phone twice has sent me an update since we've been, doing this, telling me that, something happened. I don't care. Stop telling me.
Yeah, it's
an addiction. It really is. If you think about it, it's an addiction. Everyone has to know what's going on. You need to know. You don't need to know.
The 24-hour news cycle has really, you're right. When we were growing up, I don't remember whether there was morning news at all, but you got up, you went to work or you went to school, you came home, you caught up with the news from 6 to 7, and that was it. And then it was Batman and Wild Wild West. I mean, but now
don't forget Dallas and the A-Team.
Yes, Dallas and the A-Team, absolutely awesome.
MacGyver,
Magnum PI. Gosh, I'm showing my age.
Oh, yes.
I've been watching the Police Academy movies with my kids.
Those are awesome.
But they say that Tackleberry, they're like, that's like Dad, Tackleberry.
I get that at work too. I'm the gun guy at work, and I'm like, no, I'm a shooter. I don't care about like having a bunch of guns and hoarding a bunch of guns. I want to shoot them.
Yep. Anybody, speaking of the media and driving you crazy, how about Mike Bloomberg and his ads? Is anybody else ready to just scream because you can't get away from the Mike Bloomberg ads?
Who's he? Just kidding.
I see him on YouTube.
Oh, every break on YouTube, every break on Hulu.
Hulu's terrible.
At first I got really mad about it, and I was like, this is ridiculous. And, like radio stations and stuff and everything. He's everywhere. But then I started thinking, hey, he's spending a lot of money on this crap.
He's blowing a lot of money.
Well, and the other Democrats just hate him.
Oh, God.
If you watch
the highlights of the deal, and they tore him to shreds. It was mean. It was awesome.
he spent 400 mil on ads to get up on that stage and just get pummeled by everybody else.
My favorite meme since then has been him holding up money, standing behind the podium. He's holding a fistful of cash, and it says, "I'd like to buy another question, please."
Yeah.
For a different question.
Have you guys seen that one YouTube video is going around with that little kid that kept going, but Linda.
Linda. Yeah.
Yeah. Now there's one where it's got his head on there, and he's like, but.
I haven't seen that one.
I have not seen that one. No, even my daughter comments whenever Mike Bloomberg comes on. She's like, "Oh, I can't stand him." And now he's talking about spending $8 million in Texas to try to support or anti-gun candidates, anti-gun Democrats here in Texas.
He's going to get like some people that care about him in downtown Dallas, in downtown Austin, and in maybe a little bit of Houston and San Antonio downtown areas. But the vast majority of Texas is going to be like, what?
Yeah, it's Dallas County and Harris County and whatever county Austin's in, and yeah, a little bit of San Antonio.
There's Harris County, San Antonio.
Harris is Houston.
Houston, okay.
I just
Travis,
can't.
maybe that's
Is it Travis? I think that's maybe.
My wife would know.
Yeah.
She's a diehard Texan.
We're
She'd
just
actually probably be mad at me if she knew I did not know that county that Austin was in.
We're just transplants.
Well,
All right.
Too.
We got some comments.
It's probably, "Hey Bill, stop moving your phone."
A message from gun clubber Robert Laird. Greetings from Bothell, Washington. I think it's Bothell. It may be Bothell. Robert, slap me upside the head if I get that wrong. Longtime listener, first time catching a stream. Was deployed on my destroyer most of last year in the Western Pacific. Robert, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for your service. Let's see. I'll say hello. I don't know who this is from. These people didn't add their names. I'm convinced stand-up comedy is the final media hope for secular culture. I don't know whether that's true. I've seen, I can't find a whole lot of stand-up comedy that isn't anti-Trump, and there's some, but unfortunately I can't get through a stand-up routine anymore. Unless there's a couple of, I can't think of their names because I don't watch them all that often, because I don't want to take a chance on getting halfway into one and then they start riffing on Trump or conservatives or Christians, and I'm just like, no, I'm done.
So you're not an Andrew Dice Clay fan?
Andrew, bring back Andrew Dice Clay. There's no way we could do Andrew Dice Clay in today's culture.
Good God, is he still alive?
I don't know.
Yeah, he has a TV show on Showtime.
Oh, wow.
Well, he's like Adam Carolla, I think. I mean, it's kind of like he probably doesn't care. These last comments, that comment about the stand-up comedy was from Gavin. I don't know why we don't see his I don't know why don't see his Facebook profile there. This is in response to our comment about Bloomberg. He'll do well in Houston. I mean, all he has to do is cheat. Well, yeah, that's kind of what Democrats do.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. What next topic I wanted to bring up? I want to get your thoughts on this. And this may seem a little strange, but let me see if I can find it. Share this tab with you. I hope it's still on this particular picture. There it is. Yes. Let me close that. Oh, no. Stop share. There. Okay. Now, go back to StreamYard. So, this got posted on the Fans of Armed Lutheran Radio page.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this? Because I got lots of likes on it. I want to show you what kind of a response it garnered on Instagram. Let me see if I can stop sharing that one and start sharing this one. Share screen.
What is Instagram?
The gram, the IG.
The IG, baby. This is where everybody shares their pictures.
I don't think I have that.
One of the dumbest memes ever, considering the Second Amendment predated the 19th Amendment by more than a century. Somebody gets the point on this, I think, because I mean, when you saw this particular meme, what was your reaction to it? What did you? I mean, is this off base? I got lots of likes. I
was kind of wondering if that shirt came in my size.
The one with the Hello Kitty shooting a gun. What is she, or which one are you referring to?
The Hello Kitty shirt.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd wear that. I'd rock that.
I mean, this is okay. Yes, the Second Amendment predates the 19th, and I don't actually know what that means in what they're trying to, what the point they're trying to make in countering the meme. But the point that we're trying to get through here is that the Second Amendment isn't just for men. It doesn't just make men equal. We talk about, what was it? Samuel Colt made all men. How'd that go? What's the theme? What's that saying?
God made man. Sam Colt
made them equal. But what we're talking about here is that the guns make women are disproportionately victimized in domestic violence situations. They're disproportionately victimized when it comes to sexual crime. Mainly because their stature makes it more difficult for them to deal with a larger attacker. It's just biology. But a gun in the hands of a woman gives them a tool that allows them to defend themselves, makes them truly equal. And I don't know why the ivory tower came out and decided to say that this was, because I didn't read it. I don't know how they got that. I don't know where that came from.
They're looking at it backwards. They're trying to say that the Second Amendment is doing more than that. Like it was, like it's happened after the 19th Amendment, and that's not what it was trying to say. They're just it's somebody just trying to twist their own values,
trying
and
to split hairs.
Like a terrible thing. But let's be honest. If I'm 6'5", 250-pound bodybuilder that does MMA and is coming at you or me at 5 foot nothing, what makes us equal? Just what you said, that firearm, that ability, that Second Amendment God-given ability to defend yourself. And instead of having to hope that I can fend some giant guy off, if I'm a guy or a girl or whatever it may be, you don't have to be a big fighter or any of that kind of stuff. You become equal because of that firearm, because of that tool. I mean, my dad one time nailed a nail into a fence board with his thumb. Did he need a hammer? No, I guess probably not. But does that tool make it easier to do the job? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and to me, there are certain people in the pro-gun movement who, I don't know, they try to overanalyze or to make things a little more complicated than they really need to be. I mean, the point here is not to downplay the importance of the 19th Amendment or the feminist movement going back all the way to the beginning of the founding of the Republic or whatever. What we're talking about here is, and whether or not women have the right to vote as guaranteed by the 19th Amendment, the gun makes women equal to men. The vote doesn't necessarily protect them when it comes to a violent encounter. The gun is the thing that the ability to use a tool like a gun for self-protection is exactly what makes women equal It's certainly far more than. And I mean, we're just trying to make a funny comment about the importance of everyone being able to exercise their Second Amendment rights, and certain elements of the gun community. They want to split hairs, and they're always looking for some. Where did Bill go? They're always looking for some way to pick an argument, and this ended up, by the way, reposted on another person's Instagram page, denigrating it as one of the dumbest things that anyone has ever posted. And we need to stop posting these silly, simplistic memes, and because all we're doing is creating divides between people. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just a simplistic thinker, but I don't know why this is complicated.
What's the divide between people who have common sense and understand that a woman that carries a firearm can defend herself from anyone?
If a feminist wants to be, offended by this, because I don't know why they would, but I don't understand the argument. I don't understand. I wanted to see what your gut reaction to this was. Is this somehow, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up. It just seemed a little strange.
No, it's a case of there are stupid people everywhere and they're breeding.
Well, here's the problem. The guy who posted this has like a PhD from Wake Forest.
And that means what?
Apparently nothing.
It means you spent a lot of money to get something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You spent a lot of money to get a degree.
He spent a lot of money to sit in classrooms and talk about theory. The difference between theory and real life is colossal.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any real world experience.
Yep.
I mean, I'll be honest, that's the whole reason I never went back and finished my degree, because after doing so many, even a few years of law enforcement in a big city, it's hard to go back to college
theoretical life
and sit there and have, instructors and professors tell you what works and what doesn't, when I'm going, I just got off work a couple hours ago, and what you're talking about don't work, people.
Yep.
But they know better because they're a professor. They got a degree. Whatever.
Oh, we got some comments.
I ran off because, like I said, I'm cooking dinner. I had to go check my grill.
Ooh, may have to come over there.
Mistake.
Yeah. Virtue signaling is what Gavin Mize suggested. I think trying to prove how smart you are and making something a lot more complicated than it really needed to be.
Yep.
All right. So thank you guys for doing this. I really do appreciate it. And I'm sorry that it kept getting rearranged and moved around. Hopefully we won't have any issues putting it together for March. We've got Lent coming up here soon, and then Easter. So we'll try to squeeze this in. I know Pastor Bennett's going to be busier than a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest.
He doesn't work that hard. They only work one day a week. I don't know why people think pastors are so busy.
Oh.
He likes to joke about how he'd like to find the person who told him he'd only have to work one day a week and kick him square in the nuts. But I know with all the sermon writing and all that stuff all the services going on during Lent, he's gonna be busy. So we'll try to figure out a way to fit it in for March. It might be tricky. We'll have to see. One final comment here from our good friend Robert. in response to our discussion of that meme and the professor.
Oh, so true. Well put, Robert. Well put.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, episode 208 is coming out on Sunday. It's Clinging to God and Guns, and it's a fun one. There's going to be a full-length version with about 15 to 18 minutes of extra content coming later in the week. A reminder, swag, if you would like it. Drink coffee, shoot guns.
Oh, now you're talking. Oh.
If you like that, or any of the other, you want to check out any of the other swag we've got, go to armedlutheran.us/t-shirts. For those of you who are watching later when this gets posted on YouTube, if you'd like to be a part of these online hangouts, come join us at the Reformation Gun Club, armedlutheran.us/gun club. Check out all the benefits, all the exclusive content, invites to these events, plus early access to all the episodes and some pretty cool swag, and access to our Facebook group where you can interact with other cool people like Jeremy and Sergeant Bill, and even Sergeant Bill. And hopefully we'll be able to get Mia in here next time. And thank you both for joining us and putting up with all the changes. And thank you for everyone who's watching. And we will see you again next month for next month's online hangout. Till then, keep shooting, keep praying. We'll talk to you next time.
For show notes, be sure to visit our website at www.armedlutheran.us. Check out the Facebook page, The Armed Lutheran, or join our Facebook group, Fans of Armed Lutheran Radio. If you like what you hear, please leave us a comment on our feedback page at armedlutheran.us/feedback, or a review on iTunes, and let us know what you think. Thank you for listening to Armed Lutheran Radio.